Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Chris with No Boundaries Marketing Group here. Today, we're going to talk about what makes an awesome website, and we're going to actually do this specific for chiropractors today. I'm going to share my screen here with you, and just to say this little disclosure, I don't know any of these guys. I don't know any of these chiropractors. I've never worked with any of them. We're literally just going to do a holistic look at their website, point out some good things, some bad things, and hopefully give you guys some direction on when you're designing your own website, maybe some things to look for that'll ultimately help you build the best website possible. So with any website, there's a lot of different components. And again, we don't want to overcomplicate this. I want to put this into perspective that, any drag and drop builder is better than nothing, right? So the first question we always get asked is, what's the best option? Should we build on WordPress? Should we build here? Should we build there? And I simply tell clients this. I don't care where you build it as long as you build it. Because honestly, it really comes down to anything is better than nothing. Now, if you want my professional opinion, I'm a big fan of WordPress. I think the platform's fantastic. It's an open source platform, which means there's a lot of plugins, a lot of flexibility. There's a lot of integrations. So there's a lot more I think we can do with that. Does that mean that GoDaddy, Wix, and the 3.2 million other providers are not good enough? Absolutely not. There's a time and place for everything. Some people find Wix sites really, really easy to use. There are limitations with them. Same thing with GoDaddy. Again, there's not knocks on any of them. They're great platforms, and those companies invested a lot of money to perfect them. So for all intents and purposes, we're just going to look at these. I don't know what these sites are, so let's go ahead and just look through and find out what's going on. So the first thing that I notice here, and again, we're looking at Siteliner Physical Medicine. Hope I said that right, and I apologize if I didn't. But when we look at this, again, dynamic visual. Looks more massage oriented if you ask me, but again, looks like a nice modern clean design. I like the logo in the upper left hand corner. I like the very bold and visible, let's just say, menu, or simplified maybe is probably a better way to describe that. I got a request an appointment link up here that goes over to their, let's see, yep, that takes me over to just looks like just actually a contact form. So that might be a little misleading. We'll play with that a little bit more later. But going back to the home page here, no wait policy, new patient same-day appointments, zero insurance, paperwork hassle. Oh, those seem pretty cool. I like those little check marks in there, so it's kind of eye-catching. It makes it look like really it's kind of a simplified practice, if you will. So the point that we're getting at here is, again, cleanliness. I think that this is important. From a modern website, again, we need that clean look, that clean feel, that complicated, let's just say. Worse websites, again, just my professional opinion, when you look at car dealerships, again, we pick on them a lot. Not that they're bad businesses, just, again, they have really, really, complicated websites sometimes. Unicorn shooting across the screen, glitter falls down, all that fun stuff, pop-ups everywhere. So again, we try to avoid that because statistically speaking, most consumers don't like that stuff. And so again, I like this nice clean design here. Your health specialist, quality, compassionate care from a team that you rely on. The one thing that's striking me is that this is a chiropractor and I don't see anything chiropractic right now. And maybe that's by purpose. Again, I don't know these guys, but from an SEO perspective, I can tell you that, it would take a lot of extra work to get this site ranking, being that when we look at it, we're really, again, in the upper fold. This is what we refer to as the upper fold. This is the first thing people come to. So if I was a betting man, I would probably say that there's a decent bounce rate off of this site. And that's because, again, there's not much that's really catching my eye in terms of if I was a patient or a potential patient, and let's just say I was suffering from lower back pain or sciatic or whatever it is that, I'm coming to these guys for. And right now, the first thing I have to do is I have to start scrolling to really find what it is that they do or, how that works. So again, just my professional opinion, I might organize this a little bit different, but to each their own. Core values, I really do like this. I think, we have as a business owner, so we're not even talking specific about practices right now, just as a business, you really need to find that key differentiator, what makes you stand out amongst the crowd. And so our core values and what we bring to the table, I always call this humanizing the brand. And so again, respect, loyalty, integrity to healthcare. I like that, actually. That's actually a really, really neat tagline, and a little bit about the practice here. Harmonious treatments and therapies. Okay. Caring office staff. Okay. So, I like that. Come down here. I love the video. We're not going to play it, but again, videos are super, super important. Again, that's going to appeal to a specific demographic. And so we really want to make sure that we include video in on our websites. I like the office or the staff picture right here. It shows a lot of people. So obviously this is a larger staff. That's pretty cool. We finally get down here, and again, we're midway through the website, and we finally get to our treatments: chiropractic care, regenerative medicine, auto and personal injury, pain management, massage. Okay, so finally get here. I might want to click on these, and so it looks like the icons click, but the text, nope, text does. It just took a minute. There we go. So I like that these are click-throughs. Make sure a lot of the times we find on websites, those are not. So that's a good feature for this. Testimonials, again, that's that validation for consumers. It's also great because there's a lot of keywords in here. So from a content standpoint, testimonials are fantastic. They serve two purposes. We look at this, stem cell injection, so you can clearly see what this practice is focusing on. So again, stem cell, whereas from a practice standpoint, you got to be careful in how you say that stuff. Again, stem cell or stem cell therapies, or again, from a PRP or regenerative medicine standpoint, though you can't really, you're not allowed to say that type of stuff. But again, consumer testimonial, that's fair game. So again, when we look at this, got a lot of value in that. Request your free consultation, request an appointment, links over here to the appointments page. I like that. I like the map of the business. Again, 3 locations. Awesome. So that's good. All the same number. So I'm assuming I'm going to hit a phone tree there. Pros and cons to everything. If I was a patient of surprise, again, depending on, and we're not going to criticize the phone tree right now, a lot of the times, especially from Google's perspective, we want to make sure that we have, if there's an individual number for each location, you want consistency across the board. So we'll look at their Google My Business page a little later for each location and make sure that's the case. But again, I like consistency, so that's also cool. I like the directions right here. And again, most importantly, the Google Map embed. That's, again, really, really neat. Let's see here. Links to the social page are all the way down here at the bottom. I might recommend putting those a little bit higher up. I mean, even again, next to the request an appointment, it's anything that we can do to create engagement or recurring engagement with a client. So if I can get my face in front of a client more often, I think that that's going to be a huge value to my business. So again, if you can encourage that. Now this is a link over. You might also put call to actions in this. Hey, like our page, for updates. And thank goodness they are updating their page. So that's really good. I like that. Let's see here. So going through this, again, this page links to their surprise one. So again, contact numbers there. With Facebook, again, if you do have multiple locations, you can't have a page per practice. That does get expensive and timely to manage. So sometimes, and what most businesses do, if you have multiple, they'll use one main, let's call it a corporate page. So again, nothing wrong with featuring an address. And again, throw plus to them that the phone number is all the same between each one. So again, that works out. Instagram, Twitter, great. Again, the more the merrier. I always tell clients as it relates to social, do what you can do and be consistent. Don't sign up for 15 different social media profiles and you're not able to manage those. Again, that does nobody any good. So we come up here, our team. This is an undervalued page for most clients. They don't realize that that's actually one of the highest traffic pages on a website. It's usually the about us or about our team. So again, looking at this, you got the docs there. That's awesome. I would say maybe what's lacking in this, and I always like to see this, is again, if you have a receptionist, your office staff, I know that sometimes maybe people swap out every now and then, and that can get challenging, but I promise you it's worth its weight in gold. I know for me personally, when I go, especially to a healthcare facility, I always like to see who I'm meeting. Again, it's that personalization. It makes me feel like I'm actually going to somebody that I can trust and I can rely on. It is great to see the doctors, but again, from a patient point of view, I would also like to see, who's going to be at the front desk greeting me? Who's the, in this instance, chiropractic assistant that's going to be helping me? Maybe there's a PA in the office. Obviously, since they do medical, there's going to be some type of healthcare or doctor or PA or nurse practitioner. So again, we want to make sure, and that might be one of these docs. I couldn't tell you, but again, we want to make sure that that's visible too. So don't underestimate the staff in that. Treatment, again, this looks great. Therapeutic exercise, regenerative medicine, pain management, great, great, great. We got a testimonials page here. I don't discourage them. I also don't necessarily encourage them. I do like the video aspect of it. I will give them a little plus for that. And wow, there is a lot. So that's a bit overwhelming. But again, you know, I don't know. I'd have to look at the analytics behind it to see if this is a value or not. Normally, you try to keep it simple. You know, giving too many options isn't necessarily a great thing. So, but in this instance, it looks like maybe they got, you know, a lot of PRP stuff. So, you know, they're probably working with a marketing company on the PRP stuff, which is why they're featuring all that. But one thing that I feel like we're maybe missing out here so far is there's really not much on chiropractic care. And maybe that's because they don't want to focus on it. Looking at this again, auto personal injury, all this fun stuff. When we look at this, content is king. The more content, the better. So what you want to make sure that you do, minimum 500 words per page, realistically speaking, or statistically speaking, I should say. Most websites that rank on the first page of Google, you're looking at 1,500 plus words. So again, the more you write, the better. These are living, breathing documents. These should never die. You should be constantly adding to them. How often? Well, that depends on how competitive your market is. I always tell my clients, you know, we usually write a handful of pages, really about once a month. We're writing about at least a minimum of 1 page a month for a client. So I think that that's really important to set the right expectations. When you think that you've answered every single question possible here, you haven't. I guarantee there's going to be something else we can do, or maybe say things a different way. Now, we also want to balance. We don't want this to be aesthetically, you know, obnoxious, let's just say, where we have a 15-mile long page. So how we supplement that, again, we have a great core inner page that's very descriptive, 1,500 words plus. Then we create blogs. And blogs, so on-site blogs, will interlink to core pages. Again, that interlinking will help give these pages more trust and more authority. So a lot of people get confused at what a blog is, whether it's an on-site or an off-site blog. Those are two very different things. They serve very different purposes. And so for on-site blogs support inner core content. So again, I don't see a blog on this website, but again, I'm assuming they probably have one. And if they do, great. I would make sure that, again, if I had, like, again, the word chiropractors, I would make sure the chiropractors in a blog, again, not on a core page like this, but in a blog, I would link chiropractors to my chiropractic care page. If I had something like, let's just say I had a page on migraines or headaches, I would link headaches over to the headaches page. Again, we don't want to be too obnoxious with interlinking, but we do want to make sure that when clients do suffer from these particular situations or conditions, that we can make sure that they get the content that they need to ultimately help them make the best decision possible for them. So again, as you go through this, definitely need a lot more content on this website from what I can see. The other thing that I feel like these pages lack is that dynamic visual, and that could be purpose-built. They might be trying to speed up the website. Page speed's a big deal, but there always has to be a balance between aesthetics and SEO. And so the aesthetic side of things, again, from a massage therapy standpoint, that's a very personal treatment, right? I mean, somebody's physically touching you. And so me personally, I'd want to see who the massage therapist is. I would want to make sure, again, big question that I see with my massage clients is it male or is it female? You know, again, that's a big deal for most massage, let's say, businesses. But being that this is a chiropractic office, I would absolutely get some dynamic video or dynamic images in there, or a video. Again, video would be very powerful here. Pain management, again, lots of great treatments here. I'm assuming these click over to individual pages. That's great. Definitely not enough content there. So, you know, and if you notice, a lot of these pages have a lot of inner content that reference over to additional core pages. I didn't see those anywhere on the home page. And so, you know, again, there's definitely some opportunities here with this. Yes, random header tag right here. Don't quite know what that is. Every page has a form on it. That can be beneficial in some instances. That'll cut down on your bounce rates there. But most importantly, and this is what I always stress to my clients, is that that phone call is the most valuable thing you can get. You know, as a patient, I can tell you this. I personally, if I have a need, and again, unless I'm searching at midnight, but during normal business hours, if I have a need, I'm not going to fill this form out. I'm going to physically pick up the phone and call you to schedule an appointment, right? I mean, that's really what we want to go for. It looks like on this particular page, the Google Maps broken. So again, yeah, this stuff happens. Again, it's not a criticism of these practices. I'll tell you, web development, I've been doing this for over a decade, and I'll tell you, nothing shocks me anymore. Just sadly, things break, things move. I mean, coding updates, plugins updates, there's just a variety of issues. So this is why it's important to have a really good web developer on your team, because I'll tell you, again, worth its weight in gold. Not to toot my own horn, but again, go into each of these, and we're not going to, beat a dead horse here. You get the idea behind this. So core pages, we got to make sure, a couple of great components. Got to make sure you have dynamic imagery. You got to make sure you have enough content. My little pro tip for content is this. Super easy way to do this. When you're developing content, think about the top 10 questions people ask you about a treatment, therapy, whatever it is. Get granular with this. Don't think from the practice perspective of, okay, well, what are the top 10 questions people ask me about chiropractic work? No, that's too broad. I want to know specific on pain management services. What are the top 10 things? On auto accidents, top 10 things. Again, that's a huge assist with content creation. If that's too easy, go to top 20, go to top 30, because I promise you it will pay off in the end. Again, those also help really create those key differentiators too. So just food for thought. Now, one thing I want to highlight from a website perspective that I do actually want to give them more props for is, again, the correlation between the website colors. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Again, you have all the same colors. They stuck to a brand theme, which is fantastic. I also will point out that they stuck with that on the Facebook page, although I will say that logo, good. I mean, I still prefer to see the physical logo there too. But again, this is all good. I think in their social media posts, they're branded. So we're not going to get into social right now, but I will just tell you, I think there's a lot of positives coming from this. Also, too, this is an important one that's missed a lot, is the hover. When you hover over a button, that when it changes colors like this or animates or whatever it is that it does on your particular website, a lot of times that's missing, believe it or not, from websites. And so people don't necessarily know that, oh, that's a button. It just looks like a box, right? But when you hover over it, you know that it's a button. So make sure that that's intuitive and that it changes colors, and make sure that color is synonymous with the rest of the site. Believe me when I say I've seen all sorts of different weird variations of that. Again, see how these change color when you hover over them? That's a big deal. So, and again, they used brand coloring on this and not just some random color. The only thing I will say in this, again, boxes could be better. They could be, I personally would have done them all the same size, but that's just me. So just depends on the person and what they're looking for. Resources are great. Websites are designed to be educational. There's a variety of different types of websites out there. Each one of them does everything. I prefer, again, from an education base, because again, nowadays consumers more and more are getting online, and they do a lot of research nowadays before making a decision. So resources are fantastic. It helps make really the process look a little more unbiased, even though obviously you're trying to generate some business off of this. So FAQs are great. I love those. I would not put those under resources. I would have broken that out. FAQs are great. I'll talk about that in a minute. Insurance is accepted. That's great. Patient intake form, great. I probably would have put that under contact us. But again, just pet peeves to everything, and it's all preference. So overall, this site, not bad. Definitely some opportunities, but what site doesn't, right? Looking over here, going over to Surprise Chiropractic, excuse me. I like the logo. I like the colors. I think those are really great. I do advise against plain text email. This will create a lot of spam for you in your life, because when a bot crawls this website, guess what's easy? You can pull that right away. I do like the phone number challenge that I see here as I hover over it. It is not a click to call. Make sure you have that there. Again, I should have pointed this out up here. I don't see anywhere where I can call them. I have to actually scroll down here to get their phone number. So again, that is a criticism of this site that we looked at a minute ago. But this one does have that phone number right in the header. I do like that. That's fantastic. Again, we can't review the mobile here. I could look at it on my phone. Maybe this is a click to call on mobile. But again, looking at this, it does not appear to be here. Facebook looks like it links over to Facebook. G Plus links over to Google Plus. Again, that's a broken link there. And then Instagram. A lot of the times we find with Instagram that people will forget to link it directly to their page, so it'll just be an Instagram link for them to log in, and obviously that does no good. Challenges with this site, I like the logo, but that's where it stops. I like the personalized imagery. This is kind of cool. What else is going on here? There's a lot of dead space. With this being the upper fold of the website, I don't know that this is selling me. I don't know that this is giving me that image. Certainly this one is not. But between those two, like I said, tons of opportunity here. We come down here, meet the staff, chiropractic care, patient forms, contact us, not bad. Welcome to Surprise Chiropractic. Okay, so, this would really probably be a better fit overlaying this along with these boxes there. So looking at this, looks like possibly a generic chiropractic photo in there. I do like the ability that there's a little motion there. That's kind of nice. Let's see here. I like the what to expect on my first visit. That's always important. A lot of people undervalue that, but this seems to be a bit wordy. I would maybe make this a bit more of a graphical reference. So again, a step 1, a step 2, a step 3, 4, 5. Try to keep it as close to 5 as you can because we want to come across as easy to do business with, not complicated. What should I expect here? So there you go. Here's your 5. So again, a little bit wordy there, but we got to the meat and potatoes here. So design-wise, I might change this a little bit. And then they set expectations. This is beautiful. Setting expectations is important. I can't tell you how often you go somewhere and you think, oh, I'm only going to get 15 minutes with the doc. Here, I'm going to get up to 90. So again, planning ahead, that gives you, the doctor, more time to have with your patient. I think that's awesome. So that's good. About us, a little redundant. Same pictures coming up constantly. So I'd probably change a lot of that. I see the Google My Business embed here. I see the address here. Now, again, pro tip on this, again, where phone numbers can be click to calls, this right here as the address can also link over to your Google My Business page. So again, that's a great link to Google My, even though it's right here, and I get that. Some people would say, well, what's the difference? Well, it's just one more link over to Google My Business. So again, those are positive attributes. Hours of operation, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I know it sounds a little ridiculous. I don't like the formatting of this. I would want it to be more intuitive. I would literally type out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, much like you did Friday, Saturday, Sunday closed. And then patient forms again here in the footer. Here's another positive I will point out. Disclaimers, medical disclaimers, privacy policy, terms of use, must-haves, HIPAA, privacy policy, and terms of use. Privacy policy, too, it's just as important as HIPAA. With Google and Google Analytics and internet privacy becoming such an important issue, if you do not have a privacy policy, you are putting your practice at risk. So, again, make sure that you take a look at that. Terms of use, how you want people interacting with your website, that does nothing. So, again, I didn't know that. Anyway, you should have a terms of use on there. You should also have a privacy policy. Let's hope they do. Oh, and they do. Let's see here. Now, this is a generic one. So, again, was not. All right, all sorts of issues here. But anyway, you get the idea. Have a privacy policy on the site. Make sure that it's personalized to you and that it's actually legal, because this is not. So, again, this was one that was put on there. Somebody just didn't fix it or fill it out. So anyway, I would fix that. Under services here, again, so back to the home page when we look at this, we got chiropractic care here. Again, I just don't see, I see these laser therapy, I see a couple of things, but underneath here, we don't have any of the conditions you treat. And so this is, again, this is going to limit how this practice ranks online. It might rank well for chiropractic, but what about, again, ear? Look at all this. So we have chronic headaches, sinus problems, high blood pressure, ear infections, leg pain, arthritis. Why would we not build pages out for that? I mean, those are, again, really, 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 really good pages to build out. Osteoarthritis up here, Yeah, all this stuff. Like we can go on and on and on. So again, I would personally, again, to open you up to more search traffic, that's how we're going to get there. Again, I know a lot of people say, well, I want a really simple site. Okay, and if you don't want to rank, then that's fine. But if you want to rank, you want to, get more clients or patients in, this is how you're going to do it. Trust me when I say content is king. Auto injury, this looks good. Let's see here, 21 years of experience. Generic stock photo. Again, I know what they were going for here. I don't think you need to necessarily have a picture of a car accident to reference auto injury. Me personally, I would stick with more personalization. Maybe a picture of somebody in a treatment. Like I said, tons of opportunity there. Laser therapy. We have a picture of laser. That's good. So that's always a positive. So that's the personalization that we're talking about there. Again, back to the conditions. If you're going to bullet point it, guess what it should be? A page. So, and again, think about this way. If you want to treat more patients with fibromyalgia because you have a great process for that or a great solution, why would you not want to talk about it? Same thing with tinnitus, bursitis, lower back pain, knee pain, golfer elbow. So any of the sports injuries, a lot of practices we see do like a sports injury page, but really if you break those down, like what about people suffering from golf injury, tennis elbow, like in this instance? Again, sky's the limit. If you have a treatment for it, TMJ, that's a big one. I know there's a lot of searches for that. Herniated discs, again, lots and lots and lots of searches for that stuff. So again, if you have a solution for that, you need to talk specifically about whatever it is you do and how it applies or how it's applicable to that and how you can solve a problem. That'll help. I promise you it will get you patients. Let's see here. Coming down here, again, I like the reviews. Again, testimonials, reviews, potato. Again, if I can find it on Google, I don't know that that's of any value, putting stuff like this. I would focus more on testimonials. I would always try to get testimonials from somebody who, again, is maybe a little bit more wordy. One little sentence, not necessarily a great review, let's just say, but I would focus more on the testimonial. I would focus on somebody who is willing and able to tell a story. Those are always great. Most people, they're not going to put all that stuff on Facebook or on Google, on Yelp. So these are great to stick on Yelp, and leave them there. But focus on testimonials for your website, something that's not already on Google, Yelp, or Facebook. I do like the leave a review. I definitely would not put it in the header, but again, that just took us to a general search page here, and yep, there we go. It takes me over to the review. That's awesome. Now, I will give you a little pro tip. If you do a little search like this on Google, if you come over here and click on the map, you're going to notice it's going to take you to the map on this particular practice. If you click this share button right here, guess what comes up? Your Google Maps link. Or if you personalized it and created that little G page link, again, this will take somebody directly over to your Google My Business page to leave a review. So I highly, highly encourage. It's an easy way to share your website, share your local listing to get reviews. Yelp, same thing. Let's look at Yelp here real quick. I like that it links over to that. I like that it links to the leave a review. Those are fantastic. So again, I think there's a lot of positive behind that. I just wouldn't put it up here in the menu bar. This is something that I'd have down in the footer maybe, and I would make sure to let my patients know, hey, by the way, we're trying to grow our practice. Maybe this is a better conversation for the office manager or front desk, but hey, we're trying to grow our practice. If you wouldn't mind, if you had a great experience, we'd love it if you could leave us a review. On the bottom of our website, we have a couple of different links to Yelp and Google. Feel free to, take some time to do that. Thank you. FAQs. So these are a must-have on every website. Again, where you might be using the top 10 questions to help yourself build content. Again, this is a great opportunity to build out more and more and more content for the site. Where does this benefit us? I will tell you. So I alluded to it before, but this is as simple as it is. So I'm going to open up a new browser, and I'm going to just type in something. Let's see here. How to relieve, I typed today, how to relieve lower back pain. So again, I asked a question. Guess what comes up? Glorious Advil and their ad. That's fantastic. So ignore this because obviously I have some plugins on my search, so I'm going to get rid of those. But as we scroll down here, watch what comes up. So look at all these businesses that have, again, treatments, remedies for lower back pain, so on and so forth. This is fantastic. So if you want to compete in this arena, which obviously I would, this is how you get there. You got to talk about this stuff. Let's see here. If we just typed in lower back pain, I want to show you an example of position 0, which is right here. So when we look at this, this is a featured snippet, okay? So Google pulled this out of this website and shows it first and foremost above everything else. How awesome would it be to have something there as a business? The only way you get there is, again, FAQ pages or what's called rich snippet. There's a variety of names for it, but again, when we go through this, this is where a lot of those come from in position 0, is FAQs. So do yourself a favor, make sure that you have those in there. Again, also, do not dismiss images. This is a big, big, big issue. Why not, with your FAQs, include an image, right? Because again, if we can tie the question to an image as well, there's just another opportunity for you to show up. Lots of different ways. Again, avoid stock pictures. Try to make sure you take your own. But this is a fantastic example to use on how we can get some additional visibility for our business. So going back to this, again, we've got tons of FAQs here, so I commend them for that. I would go, again, for me, FAQs, I do them per condition. I recommend my clients do them per category. Again, it's great that you have some, so this is a good start, but always expand on that. FAQs is one of those things where I tell clients, this is an easy thing to update on your website because you should constantly be expanding. Articles, I'm assuming these are blogs. They look like blogs. Blogs are great. Blogs are good. They support intercore content. We talked about that before. So when we look at this, see how, and you can tell an SEO company did this because guess what it is? Here's the keyword followed by the geography. And that's, again, an SEO tactic. Keyword, geography. Keyword, geography. When you look at this, the only thing that I would challenge how this was maybe not done the best, I would have interlinked this. Chiropractic care, I'd have interlinked that over to the chiropractic page. Anything, again, I don't see it here, but let's just say there was a specific technique, or again, I'm just skimming through it, but here's another chiropractic care, spinal manipulation, if you talk about technique. Like I said, if I would interlink this over, because that's going to give great value over to those inner core pages as well. Also, too, make sure if you have a blog, encourage your clients to read them, encourage your clients to comment on it. The more engagement, again, Google's looking at that stuff. I will point out one thing. All of these were added December 26th of 2017. Doesn't look like anything was updated since then. So again, be consistent with this stuff. If you can, one a month. If that's all you can do, fantastic. If you can do one a week, even better. But make sure you're updating, you're actually adding to your blogs. I know that's easier said than done. We all get super busy, but you've got to put it on the calendar. You've got to make time because it's gonna help grow your business. So again, categorizing them, I think that's good. Or actually, excuse me, this is not categorized, but they do have the recent posts over here. Josh, so again, if it's me, this is a company, so this is probably, I don't know who Josh is, and I don't know why that linked over here. But again, oftentimes what we try to do is, again, with the blogs, we try to make sure that the author maybe is the doctor's name. So that way, again, that would link over to the doctor page. Again, we're just creating these really easy, simple associations. Otherwise, who's Josh? So, and then comments. Again, back to this. Ask your clients to comment on these. Read the blog. Don't be afraid. Like if you're producing this material and it solves a problem, don't be afraid in your conversation with clients to reference this stuff. Hey, you know, we actually did a blog on this and, you know, blah, blah, blah. Another thing you can do with these, and this is, again, fantastic use of blogs. Newsletters are dead if you didn't know. There's a lot of people still doing newsletters, and, you know, again, some are going to argue with me and tell me, well, it's great results. Well, and that's good. You know, you've trained your patients well, and that's fantastic. But in general, most email marketing, again, falls on deaf ears. What we use email marketing for, again, is just to keep that brand top of mind. Email marketing should have anywhere from a 9 to 17% penetration, and where I use content, I use it to support my blogs. So again, I'm going to email out history of chiropractic care. So as I write a blog, guess what? I've made easy work of a new newsletter or a new email that needs to go out. So again, these serve dual purposes. The more traffic you can get back to the website, the better off you're going to be. So again, just a few little tips in there. I love the exercises, so this is a great idea for those who are listening to this. I would encourage that. I like that type of stuff. About us, oh, staff way down here. All right. There's the doc, personal, see, love the family photo. The more personalized we can get, the better, so that's good. But again, no staff. So, I don't know, let's see. Oh, no, there's a couple, well, that's staff. We don't know who they are, but they're there. They're staff, so we'll give them at least 50% credit for that. So, again, we've looked at a couple of websites now. I'm going to go through one last little tutorial here on just looking at maybe some of the back-end attributes. This one was on Heat Chiropractic. I'm really not a fan of this site, so I'm not going to go into it. But again, I do like the logo though. But when you look at this, again, 2 locations, well, yeah, we're not going to go into this one, but I will just go through the SEO attributes. This is a little plugin or an extension on Google. It's called SEO Quake. It's free, doesn't cost you any money. It's a great little evaluation tool that can give you some insight on what you're looking at here. So again, we got URL. I really like it because it helps educate clients on, you know, what each of these are and why it's important for you. So again, tips over here. You can see what each one of these means, what it does, what's optimal, what's not. Header tags, again, it explains pretty much everything. Just remember, this is a neutral third party, and I don't know when the last time this was updated. So we use Google Webmaster Tools to tell us what we need to know. And again, Google updates that pretty regularly. They provide a lot of tips and insight. So, you know, just food for thought. Again, so you can go through this. We see a lot of good green check marks. Green check marks are good. Doesn't mean it's optimized. It just means it's there. So just remember that. From a marketing standpoint, always, you know, see if you can get a free consultation or, you know, have a conversation with a marketing person to actually look and see if those are actually optimized. Even though they're there, again, it's important to have them optimized. Language not specified. They do have a Google Analytics code. This is, again, another one of those really undervalued resources. Doesn't cost any money, so take advantage of that. Next up, I use another system called Siteliner. This is not an extension, but an actual website, so siteliner.com. And this goes through really all the pages and gives us a lot of information. So when we look at this, we have, man, top issue, boom, right in our face. Lots of duplicate content. Holy cow, 68%. So again, that means that this is copied from something. So this is a way to keep people accountable. Again, it explains it well. I use these websites a lot because I make sure that when clients see it, if they ever want to go back to it and look, again, it will tell you why it's important that you pay attention to this. So being duplicate content's at 68%, I want to see what in the world is going on. We got newsletters that are copied. We got weird stuff in here. I got all sorts of weird pages. I'm just going to look up category blog and just see. Sometimes they're duplicates of internal pages. So what we want to do is we want to come over here, show all matches. Here's all the matches in there. So if you notice, this is a Health Weekly update. So again, this might be, looks all the same. Looks like all the same information. So it all looks like it's part of this particular practice. So maybe it's just duplicate from internal sources, which isn't as bad, but it's still not great because, again, Google, if this system can see it, so can Google. So again, make sure you run these type of scans because, again, with how your website's built, this can make a big difference. You could be producing fantastic content, and if it's duplicated or not added to the site the right way, you could be in a world of hurt. So again, make sure you pay attention to that. Now, Siteliner also does a broken links check, which I love. Again, I'm just breaking this out and doing this separate. There's no broken links on this website. This is Broken Link Checker or brokenlinkcheck.com. Free site, doesn't cost any money to do. Again, broken links are bad, if you didn't know that. And it just creates bad user experiences. So dead hyperlinks, you know, again, are a negative thing for the website. So again, make sure you take a look at that. These are just a couple of free resources. So again, these are on-site attributes. Siteliner, again, going through the content a little bit more. You can actually read through the summary here. And again, not picking on this particular practice. I'm sure they're great docs and got a great staff. Yeah, just need a little work on the website. Load time is longer than 51% of the other sites out there. Number of words, so text to HTML ratio, again, right here. is a little bit high. So again, there's definitely some things to work on, let's just say. Last thing we're going to cover, and I'm going to go over to my site here real quick, and then we're just going to look at a couple of accolade or features here that are important. These are things what we call humanizing the brand. So we're going to go through these. I encourage them on all sites. And again, this is just those feel goods that people need to make sure, or again, helps them kind of push them over the edge. A lot of us do a lot of great in the community, so why not talk about it? Some people say, oh, that sounds arrogant. I don't want to do that. Well, I get it, but the marketing guy tells you you need to. So community organizations we support. So again, Rotary, SCORE, Humane Society, and the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention are ours. Again, we support a lot of local organizations as well, but we try, again, from that arrogant standpoint, we try to keep it simple with the main ones. Next up are credibility factors here. And again, these are all features that we've been pulled into. Again, Home and Business, Social Media Explorer, Media, Phoenix Herald, Small Business Daily. We've got a couple of great awards here, top 10 PR companies, so on and so forth. So again, we put these in here. Not only are these fantastic backlinks, but more importantly, these are some trust factors for clients. You know, again, these publications don't feature you because you're a fly-by-night company. You can obviously get PR is one of those really easy things. That's going to be for another conversation later. But again, if you have the opportunity to get featured in the news, a local newspaper, magazine, stuff like that, they're worth a lot. Like, to me, those are really, really valuable. Other ones up here, if you go, again, we have our memberships here, American Marketing Association, Chambers of Commerce. You know, again, we have all of these listed here, Small Business Association, so on and so forth. So again, these are all great accolades, BBB. So again, it's anything to help us stand out from the next guy. And so that's what's important to remember. Sometimes we try to make things a little bit too simple, let's just say, as a business, and we forget some of the basics. And to me, these are some of the basics. So as always, if you have any questions, anything we can help you with, please, we're a wealth of information. I know this was a long seminar, but I appreciate you guys hanging in there. If you have any questions, anything, again, that we can help you with, please give our office a call. Our office number is 602-377-7773. And again, my name is Chris with No Boundaries Marketing Group. Have a great day, guys.